kids! Welcome back to another virtual story time. I'm Miss Nicole and I'm here at the courtyard at the Botanical Garden. This is week 6 of our virtual summer in the garden. It's called Down in the Dirt. This week we're talking all about dirt and rocks here in the Florida Keys. So for our book today, I have Dirt Boy by Eric John Slangerup. Mr. Farnello loved dirt. Every day he rolled round and round in it, making delicious mud pies, which he snacked on. The mud squished and squashed under his feet, tickling his toes and making him laugh until dirt sprayed out his nose. Ooh, I don't want dirt coming out my nose. Late one afternoon, Mr. Farnello slowly returned home from the furthermost corner of his backyard. His clean and mean mother was waiting. "Into the tub at once," she shouted. "You smelly, stinky, mucky, gritty, grimy, grubby little dirt boy." "No, no, please," Fister cried. And he begged, but Fister's mother would hear none of it, wrestling off his clothes and flopping them on the floor. His dirty clothes cast a big cloud of dust, kapoof, until nobody could see a thing. That's when Fister made his escape. He heard his mother calling, "Fister Farnello!" But he didn't look back. Fister ran and ran from everything clean until he found himself deep in the woods. He climbed to the top of a small hill and nestled into a soft, cozy little dip where he fell fast asleep. The next day, Fister awoke to a terrible rumbling and shaking. He thought it was an earthquake. "Who's there?" boomed a bellowing voice. Mr. Farnello had fallen asleep in the belly button of a giant. So here's our giant, and here's Fister in the belly button. "I am Dirt Man," the giant continued, "and I haven't taken a bath in 1,000 years. That's a long time not to take a bath. When Fister could finally get to his feet, he shouted, "Oh yeah? Well, I'm Dirt Boy, and I haven't taken a bath in almost 2 days. The giant peered down and smiled, flashing his moldy green teeth. The two instantly became best friends. Here's his green moldy teeth. This is why we should make sure we brush our teeth. Dirt Man and Dirt Boy passed the time playing in the dirt games in the woods. Dirt Man usually won. Night after night, Fister Farnello's mother waited for him to come home until she fell asleep with a soft zzz. But deep in the woods, Fister ran around as Dirt Boy. His hair got tanglier and scranglier with each passing day. A bird made a nest on one side. Here's some birds in his hair. A family of country mice moved in on the other side. So he's got bird and mice in his hair. The birds chirped all day and the mice squeaked all night. Then, down by his feet, all of a sudden, sproing! A big purple mushroom sprouted between his toes. Then another pop! And another pop, pop! So he has mushrooms growing out of his toes. Ew. The birds and mice on his head started to complain. "P.U.," they cried. "Can't you do something?" But Dirt Boy couldn't do anything. He didn't even have a toothbrush. So every time he opened his mouth, a thick green cloud of stink came out. Bleh. Sighed Dirt Man as he paused to lick the mildew off a rock. "You don't look so bad to me." A patch of stray weeds curled and twisted out of Dirt Boy's nostrils. So he had weeds coming out of his nose. and a damp clump of moss started to creep out of his belly button. His skin felt so icky and slimy that he began to cry, big muddy tears. "Not to worry, my rotten little friend," said the giant. "You smell fine to me." He leaned over and took a couple whiffs. Squonk, snorf, just like dirt, so ripe, so... The giant sniffed again. "So delicious." The dirt man, the giant, greedily smacked his grimy lips, crouched way down, sucked in as hard as he could with a terrible mwah. The giant sucked in trees and boulders and rivers and clouds, but not Dirt Boy. Fister Fernello ran and ran back through the woods until he happened upon something familiar. But Fister's mother took one look and screeched, "A monster!" Fister tried to say, "Mom, it's me," but his teeth were so covered with gunk, all that came out was, "Blah, blah, blah, blah." "Shoo, shoo," shouted his mother. She flapped a broom at him and tried to drive him back into the woods. When that didn't work, she sprayed the monster with a hose. Then an amazing thing happened. The water washed away some of the dirt, leaving the faint shape of a certain long-lost boy. Fister's mother paused. Could it be? She stepped a little closer. "Fister, is that you?" She whispered hopefully. Fister used the dirt from his fingers to spell out Y-E-S. Yes! It took 23 bars of soap, 16 bottles of shampoo, 179 gallons of bath water, 44 million bubbles, and 11 tubes of toothpaste to finally get Fister Fernello clean. Something was different, Fister thought to himself. His skin felt so soft and smooth, his breath was fresh, and his face was shiny and bright. Then, at last, he finished his bath. Fister felt lighter, as if walking on air. He floated into his mother's arms and gently fell off to sleep. Word of young Fister's wild adventures traveled quickly. His name became known throughout the neighborhood and across the land. For a long time, Fister and his mother kept watch for the Dirt Man giant out in the woods, but he was never seen or heard from again. Today, Fister Fernello still likes to get dirty, but he also likes to get clean. So, since we had this Dirt Boy book, we're going to do our own garden dirt scavenger hunt. So we have this scavenger hunt attached to this video for you to use. We're going to look for things like a large rock, a small rock, a snail shell, leaf litter, bugs, seeds, roots, and limestone rock. So I found a couple things as examples. Here we have a large rock and a small rock. We have some leaf litter, a snail shell, here's some roots, and this is an example of limestone rock. If you look closely, you can see the coral skeleton within the rock. So use the scavenger hunt and let us know what you find. As for our craft today, we're going to paint rocks. So all you need are some rocks, which you can gather during your scavenger hunt, some paintbrushes, and some paint. Here's some examples of some painted rocks. Miss Kelcie and I have painted several rocks and we've hid them around the garden. Now we want you to come to the garden and try to find some of these painted rocks. When you find a rock, take a picture in the location you found it in and post it using the hashtag KWVirtualGarden to win a prize. Well, we hope you have fun searching for the rocks. Let us know what you find.